That's right.
Hey Tommy,
That's way if no one's on base, you still get one run.
What's one thing you've been working on hard this year? Like, what's one thing you try to emphasize to get better at than you did last year?
Breaking balls for strikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, change up. In the count.
Sliders, curveballs, cutters.
Yeah. Develop a 12-6. You know, remember the 12-6 I was working on with the last 2 weeks of the season?
Yeah.
That was nasty.
Got that down pretty good. That cutter is still a slutter. You know, it's still a hard cutter. But it's good. Like if I throw it in a pitcher's count, essentially, it's good. When they're looking for a fastball, but then they get that little, Nick, what's going to happen? Nick's probably.
You don't want to throw it there.
In those hitters count.
No, but in all seriousness, Nick has a great approach, and
Nick, if
you're looking, what are you looking for? You're hunting a fastball.
I'm looking for a fastball that I can smash. I'm not looking for anything else besides that. Yeah.
Exactly, and you and every other hitter out there, pretty much.
But not a lot of people think like me. It's okay.
Unless you have a scouting report where somebody's going to come at you with an slider or curveball, don't sit on it. Right? You're obviously going to sit on that fastball. So my thing is emphasize whether it's a changeup or a cutter or slider.
Something to get me over for that strike to get them off balance. Exactly.
Yeah, and if you swing and you're not looking for that pitch, you're probably either going to swing and
you're getting yourself out. It's a waste of that bat. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So to say, Tommy. So Tommy, you've really during last season, near the right a little bit, struggled obviously a little early on, but then you got into the starter role and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Your big thing was getting batters to really roll it off, because obviously you play in your ballpark and everything. What was the thank you very much for the follow. Hey, there's one of your catchers right there, Troy. Troy Dixon. There he is. So
I thought. What the hell is Troy Dixon doing? What?
He's right there. He was on there. Wait, what's Kevin doing here? Wait a second.
Kevin's lined up.
Wait a minute. Kevin's got something here.
Kevin's ready.
He's gonna just.
We're working on that slutter. We want to make sure that comes out in the same plane as the four seam, and make sure it just dips down on that last.
That boy Kenny Powders.
Look at this guy.
What is?
No other place to throw it than trees, So that's what.
Kevin, don't break your slide back there, whatever it is.
I love this.
Boom.
You guys better get.
He'll throw it there enough times that the tree will actually fall off. That is incredible stuff.
Flex on him, big fella.
That's incredible stuff. Yeah,
Kevin, you don't want to let everyone see your pitch, man. That's yours. You got to save.
No. He only threw that about 80%.
No, I know. But don't let everybody see it.
He didn't put the finishing bite into it. Don't worry about that.
Kevin, tickets for the fans, and we need some people to come watch us, man. Come on.
Kevin, can you hear me?
I got you, 10-4.
Kevin, your hair is long as
Kevin,
heck.
what's one thing you've been emphasizing this offseason? What's one thing you've been working on that you think you could improve on?
A lot of it is passive range of motion.
Well, for someone that doesn't know what passive range of motion is, what would you say?
Okay, so like if you got external rotation, right, and you're putting your arm all the way back as far as you can.
Yeah.
And that's the farthest you can go. If you have somebody assist and they can move your arm back a little bit more, those last 10 degrees, those are going to be your passive range of motion. So
you get a little bit more whip on that thing.
So you're focusing on getting that more whip and that more flexibility, huh?
Not so much my throwing side, but definitely my front side. So.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and tell everybody why you hurt your shoulder again on air here?
No, great story. I mean,
and who hit the ball? Who hit the ball that you?
Well, I mean, we were in Ottawa, and I mean, it was like a couple weeks before that. I'm laying out for balls and stuff like that, getting my conditioning in.
Kevin Grendell's the Mariano Rivera of shagging. Let's go that way.
He hits that line drive right up the middle, and it starts tailing out. And then I read it, and then I laid out for it. And as I caught it, my throwing arm or my non-throwing arm got
his arm got hit out of socket. The ball was hit so hard. That's what he's gonna say. I'm just kidding.
I think it's possible.
Hey, you know what? I wasn't about it. I finished those last 6 for you, brother. So
he laid out and tore his labrum for trying to catch my ball on BP.
Hey, I gotta make conditioning exciting for me somehow. So.
But you know what? He's always going 110%. That's all I gotta say.
Well, yeah, because you wouldn't have known he had a torn labrum with the way he was
He pitched
pumped
through the
up
whole
in the
season with
playoffs.
it. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, I was a little pissed off. You know, like feeling pain every single day pisses you off.
Yeah, it does. It does. Not gonna lie, it's not a fun feeling.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Kevin Grendell.
We made it work, and you know that was the thing is we were down arms. Everybody was kind of going through it. You know, it's just that part of the year, and it's just you got to lay it out, everything on the line and stuff like that. So.
I knew Grindle was hurting towards the end, but you know,
The guy's a teammate. That's what he does. He grinds it out for everybody. Yeah.
He was up here and getting your science and your analytics together, and I saw you got the Rapsodo going, getting some numbers.
Yeah, we got that.
We bought a Rapsodo for us. Yes.
I know. I'm a little upset we're not using it already. Honestly, we would be about mid sesh right now.
I know. I have the certifications. I took the classes. It's phenomenal stuff. I wish that I got into this stuff a little bit earlier in my career, but now that I've gotten into it, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yo, are you gonna do the Rapsodo course too? Because I did the driveline pitch design development too.
I did see Rapsodo put out that course. I
would do that because still the software still is a little funky.
Sure.
Just to understand all the metrics, I think it's important to do the Rapsodo. The facility I coach at, I think they're gonna do it like by me, so I can do that certification.
Nice. I mean, just being around that is plus. It's big league clubs are doing.
What do you think it improves on? Just kind of knowing your strengths and weaknesses, or?
I mean, I honestly think it just kind of puts more structural backing into the nature of the sport. Now that you're looking at the sabermetrics and where they're at now, it's not like some 3D planes and this. It's just really putting up time dials, and they put it in imageries of a clock, from your release point, and they talk about the access and how the ball comes out of your hand and that dial, and it's pretty cool, but at the end of the day, you still got to be able to throw the baseball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It all comes down to getting batters out, but yet it can get so complex to the point where you're actually looking at the numbers and how it can affect and how it can strengthen your strengths and of
course
like that. So
I think it's more about the when you change a grip on a pitch and you're playing around and you want to see what that outcome is. It's a case study. So it's like, I'm going to try this grip and it's going to do this action. And, theoretically it should be able to get a batter out, depending on the movement. Right. So that's the feedback, and there's different stages, right? Grendel, what do they talk about? Like that first stage is trial and error, and then you go into like,
you got to test your
you got to just keep testing it. And then now it's just practice, so and that's why like the grips on the pitches are so important. And once you get those grips down, because let's say you're trying to get a little bit more depth on your slider and then you're not supinating enough, you can see the spin axis on the ball. So, I mean, it's just, you don't have to do it forever, but when you're trying to understand where's my wrist on this pitch between a curveball and a slider,
and that's a good point, because at some point of the season, your arm's just going to go through so many different stages, and you're going to fatigue, exhaustion, and your arm slot's going to be a little bit different on certain pitches. So I think that's where the tech really helps to come into play, because you might be throwing a curveball and you might be having a slight little rib cage flare, and you're able to kind of see that. So I think that helps keeps you in a more facilitated line.
I can see where that can help, because mid-season your arm's going to be acting completely different than it was in the first month or so, So to be able to look at those numbers and make sure you stay to your axis or whatever you're looking at, I can see that helping. Yeah.
But I think for some people like this, I think you're different, right? Because you have, one, you're a lefty. Grendel, you're a lefty too, but Grendel's like a lefty righty. But like, yes, you're a lefty and you just have that feel. Like you could you find like that window, like your hand is just coming out of that window and it's consistent. Boom, boom, boom. Like as far as
Grendel's throwing 97 and Gis is throwing 82. So there you go.
No, Gist was getting it up there. Gist was.
No,
I mean,
know, but I'm just saying it's two totally different. Grendell's max effort. Gist is trying to go the whole game. It's
different guys. Yeah, totally different guys.
Yeah, different approaches.
Guy, like Ottaviano, like he's a guy who's on the Rapsodo constantly, and he's trying to figure out that slider, and obviously like his thing's a frisbee. But for Gist, you're a 21 out guy. Like you're gonna go get outs, and you're gonna go, execute. So like that's but if you're trying to work on a specific pitch, then it's important. Then it's good.
I don't know if you remember this, Tommy. Though, I'll never forget this. Is when we had it was like a rain out day, so we were in the new facility, and I caught Gist. This is before the season even started. Okay. I caught Gist, and everyone knows I don't ever catch. If you guys are Miners fans, I never catch. But I caught Gist in inter squad, and it was a game in the indoor cage or whatever. But I'll never forget this. I called. First of all, he went 0-2 on some guys really fast, and I called a high fastball to get him to chase, and 3 batters in a row he struck out, then missing the fastball, and I knew right then and there. I go, dude, this kid's deceptive. He's about to be disgusting. Yeah. That's when I knew Gist was about to be legit. When these kids weren't even touching his fat, I was like, I'm not even catcher. I'm just playing around with you guys. I'm just sitting here. Let's call this and see what happens. He threw 3 high fastballs and they swung through every one of them. And I was like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. You know what I mean? I knew he had some, I could see it fine, but I knew the hitters had some problems seeing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's unbelievable.
And I think it's his
great shape to his off speed. Great shape compared to that fastball.
Well, he throws everything at the same exact. You know what I mean? He throws it all the same arm angle, arm slot, everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Complete pitcher.
Yeah. Hey, I got one. Okay, Tommy. Go ahead, Tommy.
Yeah, no, I think it's his arm swing, right? Because I played catch with him all year. And,
that's it. You're exactly right. I think he swings like a freaking mother. Yeah.
The thing just swings up, and then whatever pitch is coming out, and it's like a different. It's hard to explain. There's some guys you play catch with, and there's some guys, even pitchers that are successful, and like Castillo for the Reds, right?
Sure. Yeah.
This guy's arm swings up. And that timing, that little bit of timing that he stays over the rubber and lets his mechanics develop and lets his hips open up, it just gives
it's
that.
Natural though. It's natural though. It's not. You know what I mean though. That's all natural. It's I have a little hitch in my swing too. That's natural. Not a lot of people have it. He's got the natural little whip with his arm. You know what I mean? For sure. It's hard to do. It's hard to teach. Yeah.
The gun might say something, but the ball is telling something different.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Sean.
Yeah. No. Well, what we did last week with Nick was he pretty much got into the discovery story, if you will. How did Bobby Jones, the coaching staff, find you guys?
Found me. Yeah.
So how did that go by, Tom? We'll start with you. I'll literally just go around the horn with that. How did that all go down?
Yeah, so I'm sure most of you guys know I took off 4 years from playing the game, and then my wife was kind of like, "Hey, give it one more go," and I was like, "All right, sure." I obviously showed a lot of initiative to do it, and went to a workout. Everyone knows Joe Torre and the Black Sox, and everyone knows Joe Torre and the Black Sox. He's very instrumental in getting guys signed from whether it's college or affiliated guys who get released. They're looking to go play still, so. He's very instrumental in getting guys signed to these indie ball leagues, and went to a workout. Simon was there. I'm a Bergen County guy, and Bobby Jones is a Bergen County guy. I never met him, but he heard of me, and when I was in high school and stuff. So he knew my track record, and I think it was an easy decision, despite not playing for 4 years. And in the back of my head, it's I got to go earn a job, and I got to go. I got to go to work every day, and that's kind of the mindset I went into it with. But next thing's next is, sign a contract, show up to camp, and that was it. So, it's just, really, the door was open.
Like you said, Sean, he earned that shit, bro. He didn't start out the way he wanted to, but yeah.
So you were mentioning you taking 4 years off prior to that. What was going on? Hey, does anybody remember this guy? Who remembers this guy? Come on now.
I guess that's what was going on in the background, but
yeah.
It was just 4 years off, and just training, and Grendell probably can attest to it. His shoulder's sore as hell, and he's trying to get over that hump, and same thing. I was going through it. My body was sore as hell. I'm like, damn.
Me and Tommy had our days. We had our days for sure.
Yeah, and
the first couple of weeks were tough on us, but we battled through it and got over that hump, and we started seeing improvement. And
But even before that, even the off season, like the end of last summer, or not last summer, but the previous summer before I came back to play, that July I was starting to, work out again. And that September, my body was like sore as hell. And, but listen, it worked out. And, whatever, and that's everyone's goal, is to whatever you did last year to, get better,
right.
Have a better season and make those adjustments like Gis was talking about. And then obviously, if the opportunity's there to keep playing, then do it. Obviously everyone's timeline's a little bit different. So this would probably be my last year unless something significant happened, just because, I got to go provide. So, I'm still going to try to work during the day, get a job during the day, and then come to games at night. So, it's part of life. But listen, if you can play ball and have that life, then why not? Why not play a couple games underneath the lights, right?
Amen to that. Yeah. Quick shout out. We got GM Justin Ferrarella in the chat, waving a hello.
Everybody on here tonight.
So
what's up, Justin? Cheers.
Yeah. So Gister, we got a so obviously Tommy is New Jersey guy, so local for more or less. How was the story between getting you being discovered and coming up to Sussex County and playing for the Miners?
Well, I'm gonna have to give that one to Simon. I don't like to give much to him. I don't like to give him credit, but I got a phone call from him one night, and he brought me down to West Palm, and we played at the Houston.
That's right, he's down there, yeah.
Spring training facility. We had a couple games there, and I haven't pitched in a while. I wouldn't say a while, but I haven't got off the mound in probably about a month or so. But I was still thinking about giving baseball a shot after I got released from the Rays, and I went down there and did pretty well. Like, obviously there's definitely stuff I thought I could be better at. Like, I went down there and did pretty well, and Simon gave me a call and gave me a contract and went on down to Sussex for spring training. So
nobody told you who wore number 12 before you put it on, right?
You know what? Nick's told me this. I can't remember. Told me before.
Yeah, that was another lefty, so that sleeve was a little stretched out a little bit better. So there's that.
Hey.
So
not TA. TA was 27.
No, you're right.
Rollins was
that was Rollins. Yeah.
Rollins, my bad.
Little minor trivia.
I didn't mean to disrespect.
That's the guy that threw Slushy, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot about that. I need to start getting a little dirt under my belt. I need to start getting a little mean out there.
You know what's funny though? Hey, Rollins had a little country accent. Gis has a little country accent. So there you go.
Yeah, no, it's just
plenty of similarities to be honest. So all right, so now this is the interesting one to me because we know about the last couple of years. So Grendell, Kevin, so being discovered. I know you were through the Angels organizations, a lot of organizations and all that. So how did it come to you being discovered by the Sussex County Miners being able to come play up here for the last couple seasons?
Yeah, that was it was kind of an interesting process because I was trying to get back into affiliated ball because I had just gotten out of big league camp the year before.
Right.
Yep.
And I was just doing my offseason.
Wait, who was your roommate locker though? Before you told me.
Albert Pujols and Mike Trout.
That's right. That's pretty sick.
Yeah,
I think I've heard of those guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, their names float around a little bit. I was driving Uber and Lyft. And I was just finishing dropping off one of my passengers, and I got a phone call from my agent, Kenny Felder, and he asked if I would be willing to play indie ball. I said I've never played indie ball before. I don't really know too much about it, but sure, like why not give it a try? It's still baseball. Mm-hmm. And that's when Bobby Jones gave me that call the following day, and I just told him, I said, look, I don't have much throwing going on right now. I'll go out there right now. And I went out there to New Jersey within the next couple of days, started coaching with the little minors travel ball program. And that's when I met David Rollins, and Dave Rollins came in there shortly after. And that's just kind of how the wheel started to spin.
So now when you came to the minors the first time, was that before or after the commercial?
That was before the commercial.
Okay, so that was before the commercial. So you were doing it in between. So let's just, for the people in the back that don't know what we're talking about, could you emphasize a little bit? You might have or may not have worked with somebody that's fairly special in baseball.
John, you got people in the back room, dude. Come on, come on.
So
no, well, hang on. No, you didn't see anybody walk out. You didn't see anybody walk out of there, did you?
No dead bodies.
All those kids out there.
No dead bodies.
Yeah, there's nobody. I mean, yeah. So keep going, Kevin.
All right. That was after the 2018 season, and I knew right away when the Astros won the World Series in 2017. I was going back down to San Diego to continue training with some of those guys.
Did you know they were cheating?
Huh? Well, I've been.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so I went ahead and just did all my training and stuff, and then I got a call from Major League Baseball asking me if I would be willing to do a commercial in San Diego. I said absolutely, and they said, okay, we need you to sign a confidentiality letter. You won't share this information with the public, and
they posted it all on Facebook.
After the fact, when the commercial came out,
when I was allowed to, and and then I went out there, and then I met the slow-mo guys from Great Britain, and and then we did the commercial and spent the whole day, and it was pretty cool to just kind of talk shop with the kid.
Incredible. So wait, so the slow-mo guys. So you're talking about like the YouTube actual slow-mo guys. You're talking about Gavin and Dave.
Gavin, yeah.
Gavin and I forget the other guy's name, but Gavin's
Gavin and Dan Gucci. Yep.
That's right.
Gucci.
And they had that brand new,
like a million frames per second kind of camera.
Yeah, you can shoot a bullet in front of this thing, and it'll catch that bullet frame by frame as it's traveling through. It's pretty. It was pretty.
Yeah, they make unbelievable videos, man. That's just some of the crazy stories that you guys will see on learn up on the way. Grendell, I didn't even realize he roomed with Pujols and Trout. That's just this is stuff that you learn, and that's what I think the most interesting thing about indie ball is you got people all coming in from different places, and you get to know each other by talking stories about knowing this guy. Oh yeah, I know this guy from this one. Yeah, it's all these conversations. To me, I think it's the most precious thing of all. What's been one of the more important stories that any of you have heard from anybody else or yourself that you have in regards of coming in from affiliated ball or whatever, stories from coming into the minors and just sharing it and really being able to bond with everybody from it.
Well, I know I had Gist and Grendell as my locker mate last year, so I don't know if you could beat that.
You got everything you need right there, baby.
I got the guys right here.
You got all the stuff. You got all the formulas.
That's it.
That's right.
I'm surrounded by two lefties, man.
We kept our wheels spinning, and I honestly, if I have to say, I've enjoyed my last 2 years in indie ball more so than I have with my climb up through the minor league system, and that's just simply because of the camaraderie that we've created in that clubhouse.
Because we're a family, dog. That's what's
family.
Up.
We created, we have each other's backs. We support each other when things get tough. We're there for each other. We don't let one person fall too far behind and struggle too far in their dome. So we pick each other up when we recognize that. So I think we've done an excellent job the last 2 years, and that's why we created that winning culture.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's why that's why we've had success.
It's part of it. Yeah, it's that positive mechanism that feed out and then keep it going. So it's been I talk minors all the time, and I talk baseball. It's just, it's just such an awesome experience of everything that we've gone through the last 2 years. And 2019 was just as crazy of a year as any year, and I'm really looking forward to what 2020's got in store for all of us. It's going to be a really competitive league, and I know we're going to be right up there dishing it all out and putting it all in line.
Hey, I got one story though. Hold on. I'll never forget though. Hey, this is just a little quick story about Grendell. After I don't know if you got traded. Did you get traded after the first year?
Yeah, I got traded to Lincoln Saw Dogs.
So yeah, he gets traded, and you want to hear something funny? Bobby goes to Simon. He goes, I don't want nobody getting any more hits. So he trades back for Grendell. That's what he tells him. He goes, I don't want nobody getting any more hits. That's word for word what Bobby told him.
That was a huge pick me up.
Oh, dude, that shit's hilarious, bro. Are you kidding me?
Grendell got a
go to war every day for you guys.
Let me tell you. Tell you something about Brett.
Hold on.
Brett's been pretty quiet. I want to get him in with something. I gotta get the big man in with some type of question.
Well, actually, it's funny because Tommy, when you first came to camp last year, one of the first days, you came up to me and we shook hands and you go, "We have a mutual friend." I'm looking at, I'm like, "Wait, what?" And it turns out that Tom, a guy that I went to high school with, this guy Bruce, Bruce's family and Tommy's family know each other. What, same Knights of Columbus, I think they go to?
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Yeah, do you know the Peoples?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I went to freaking high school with Bruce." And I got the whole conversation. Now, am I right? When you were younger, Bruce and Teresa used to babysit you.
I don't remember, but supposedly, yeah.
Wait, the other thing. But he's like, I mean, the families knew each other and everything, and it's you're like, I'm like, oh, okay.
This guy right here is having a laugh attack right now. Like,
no, it's
Grendell,
and this guy's getting really close. This guy's getting close.
Yeah.
I'm just getting my core
and he's doing fairly well to keep himself composed.
But it's just. It's a small world thing, and then it's like then you figure out that Burns knows about half the world in northern New Jersey.
I feel like everyone around New Jersey and Sussex County knows everybody.
I believe it. I believe it.
Right? Grendell, they called me the mayor for a while in the bullpen.
Mayor. He's the mayor, right? That's what I said earlier before you got on here. I said Tommy's the mayor for sure.
Yeah.
You best believe I've been keeping up with Shinya. Shinya has been on the mat, dude. He's been